August 11th, 2022 Daily Synopsis. Let's do it. You know, some days you're just gonna remember. And some days it's not just the news of the day, it's stuff that you know ends up in a history book. When I was teaching, I always approached these as what I call teachable moments. It's like the opportunity when people are paying attention to learn something, because often people aren't paying attention. Today was interesting because of the speech that Merrick Garland made, which he does not do very frequently. And while on this channel I tend to focus on midterms, what the Republicans are doing, what the Democrats are doing, and we're talking here about the Department of Justice, which is independent from the president and the former president, this still has everything to do with the midterms. For days, the people that fall under the Republican pro-Trump camp have been livid that the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago. As we have learned, at any point, the former president could have put out the search warrant so that people knew exactly what was being searched for and ultimately the itemized list of what was taken. The fact that that hasn't happened has generated a lot of questions. And it's incited a lot of anger. Words matter. And when you are a president, a former president, your words will make differences. People will listen and people will follow. And that's sadly what happened today in Cincinnati. And while the supporters on that end of the spectrum, again, less and less all the time based on the data and based on the numbers, but still very vocal and very rabid, on the other side of the aisle, the Democratic side, just kind of silence and support and trying to turn the Republican narrative on its head. Republicans have built the narrative over the years that they're the ones that back the blue. They're the ones that support the police, and the Democrats don't. The FBI are police. And we see that rhetoric is making a difference. It did in Charlottesville, it did on January 6th, and it did again today in Cincinnati. And in an election year, the Democrats are using that to try to flip and take away an argument from the Republicans. And here in this channel, where we try to be politically purple about things, we have to acknowledge certain things, such as news outlets will pander to the base that support their particular candidates. MSNBC will swing things with the Democratic narrative. Fox News will swing things with the Republican narrative. Those are facts. And you can tell when there are challenges in those camps when they don't all outright support the narrative that's coming out from their side. That's when you know that there's something real is happening and that there's trouble brewing. Example, if you're a Republican and you still want to support Trump, today is a day to talk about what he can and cannot do, the legality of his actions, what it could have meant, all of these things that we have to now, again, try to make sense. And yet this was one of the top headlines on Fox News, and OAN was doing the same thing tonight. Trouble is brewing for the former president, and I think tomorrow the deadline for the court to be able to release the search warrant may shed some more light on that. I won't speculate, we'll wait till tomorrow. And that's the news of the day.